gonna give him a very dignified and humane murder, the most peaceful way to go.
I was extremely nervous. People had wanted it for so long that it could have easily been a swing and a miss.
Oops.
We got an animation studio that worked on the original Death Note to do all the animation, all the design for that story, and it was fantastic.
Whatever notes we had, they were pretty minor because it was just a really delightful take on it and just really great looking. Hi there, this is David Silverman. I am consulting producer on The Simpsons. For quite some time, I've been on The Simpsons, wearing various hats, recording this from Burning Man here in Black Rock City.
My name is Rob Oliver, and I'm a longtime animation director and character artist, and this is Variety's Making a Scene. I've always loved the Treehouse of Horror episodes. They give us a chance to see this show in a different light. It allows us to tell really spooky, dramatic stories rather than just having to hit the comedy all the time.
Ooh, slidies! Where am I?
What made this Treehouse of Horror so special? I think it's two things. One is the Westworld style story, Simpsons World.
I'll do a hard reset.
I'm king of the world!
The second reason that this Treehouse of Horror was so big was the anime. I mean, Death Tome, based on Death Note.
We were all very excited to do something like this. And then it was really, I think, a very smart idea to engage a studio in Korea that actually worked on the very thing we were parodying.
Any person whose name is written in this death tome will meet their death.
It was really great to see all the characters designed in anime. I mean, we had Jailbird in there, Mr. Burns, Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, Kent Brockman, so many characters, and a lot of them in the background as Lisa's just walking through the city.
I loved it, man. I thought they were beautiful and they were so perfect. Like, yeah, that's how I'd want to see them as animated characters, no question about it.
The script was fantastic. Every joke was so good. And then Hank Azaria doing the Shinigami's voice was fantastic too.
Wait, your name is Steve?
Well, when I was born, eons ago, Steve was a very exotic name.
I was excited and nervous because what if people didn't like it? What if we didn't like it? People had wanted it for so long that it could have easily been a swing and a miss. But I think it really, really worked on so many levels. It really rang true to the original Death Note. And it was done by the artists that are fully capable of doing that. We would have botched it. But so I'm glad they took it from us.
Do I even exist? What is consciousness? Okay, I can handle being a machine.
Simpsons World, that gave us so many great little fan nuggets.
You know, one of the things I'm very proud of that I've done is Homer skipping in the land of chocolate. So it was sort of nice to see that.
A million things in the backgrounds or foregrounds of every scene. We just loaded it up with references, a little taste of each and every joke that they've loved throughout the years. And that starts off with a classic monorail scene.
This is the snack holder where I can put my beverage, or if you will, cupcake.
There are so many iconically great scenes, but A, it's an iconically great scene. So you kind of like, most people know what you're referring to. And B, it's one of the more hilarious scenes of that iconically great show and a great scene. I call the big one Bitey.
We purposely made the monorail scenes look like the original footage. We traced all the original footage.
This, of course, was done in the pre-digitally composited style. Well, like right now, we're in the 16:9 frame size. Back then, it was called 4:3 aspect ratio. So we have to sort of take those images and basically trace it to try to maintain that look.
And then we deviated within scene and we added new poses and then went from there. And so then we had to match all the old color and then transition into the new color. We chose colors to match the original colors. Then we added filters to give a little haze over the line, and then add a little cell shadow behind to make it look like it was still actually cells being used instead of colored on computer.
Homer, there's a family of possums in here.
I call the big one Bitey.
And then really once the two guys come in, the two frat guys who then force Homer to chug a beer, once that happens, then that's the new animation that we added. And so we then had nothing to trace over.
Marge versus the monorail is experiencing technical difficulties, but there are plenty of other classic Simpsons World moments playing out right now.
Oh, let's get high and shoot Mr. Burns.
When Homer was looking around, he woke up in the tech room. He didn't know what was happening to himself, and he looked around and we saw the Sideshow Mel coming up out of that liquid. That was CG Sideshow Mel rotating in that wheel. It was just sort of a dummy in place. And so then I had to draw him and sort of map him onto his CG self. And then we had effects go in, and we had a great effects artist just match all that goo effects to Sideshow Mel and the wheel. That turned out to really look like something special.
My cat's breath smells like cat food.
That's nice, Ralph, but we're sort of in a hurry.
The Simpsons World segment really did. It was taxing. It was a lot of work for a lot of people.
Anytime you have a crowd scene, it's just labor intensive. Pencil mileage, my friend, pencil mileage.
And just so many Ralphs, too, being hit by the Canyon Arrow. That alone took a lot.
Get in!
I am a fan. I've always been a fan first, and then an artist and director. So I loved hearing that Canyon Arrow song and being able to draw it. We had CG artist Brent Bowen help us a lot with that Canyon Arrow, and I loved it. And I loved that it was just plowing through all those Ralphs. They pulled down the Matt Groening statue, broke through the dome to escape.
Canyon Kodos are a component of every Halloween episode. We do our best to try to get them involved. Sometimes there's an episode about them, or sometimes they come in for a very unceremonious cameo. We often will hang a light on that as part of the gag. We've often engaged stop motion. We really like stop motion. It's just something we enjoy doing. It's nice to throw in a different animation style into the mix. I think it just adds more texture.
Basically, from script being done to air, it is generally 1 year on those Treehouse episodes. Typical episode, it is about 9 months, maybe.
I tend to find that you learn a lot on those episodes because even though we have a long time to do them per se, they're certainly shorter than doing a feature. You learn to be a little bit more nimble sometimes. I think I follow my instinct, or learned how to follow my instinct better doing these episodes.
The day after this nominated Halloween episode aired, I started working on next year's Halloween episode. I saw my show air, and then I had to go sit at my desk the next day and just start directing the next one.